All right, good morning, everyone. We'll continue from what we learned from last class, but this time we'll continue our learning activity. And this is the learning activity we didn't able to finish from last class. All right, so in this learning activity, you're gonna be grouped into three, and what's gonna decide the grouping will be a spin. So it's gonna be randomized. So I will randomize it once. I'll show it on the board. Wait, let me just show right here. So I have your names here, and I will go ahead and okay. Okay, go ahead and find your group. Sit wherever, as long as you're not far away from there. We want respin or what? I think this is good enough. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this is it's good. Why you? Okay, let's go ahead and find your group. And okay, can you assign one person getting one paper per group? Okay, one person per group. Get one. Thank you. Anyone else? Any group? I have 7 groups here. Aldrin and Aaron, are you grouped together? Oh, Aldrin is with Danny, Skyler. Um, you have your group? Yeah, Melody, Michaela. Okay. Anyone else? If you don't have a seat, you can bring along, take your seat, and but don't forget to return it later. Yes, yeah. Everyone got their paper? Okay. All right. This is nothing very different from what we did before. All right. So instruction is each group has one artist, so that means only one pencil or pen. So nothing else. So only one, and one calculator. You could use your phone. One calculator and one paper. All right. So there's three of you, or there's two, at least two. But so if there's two of you, I mean sorry, if there's three of you, there would be two instructors and one artist. So the artist, your role is not to solve anything. Your role is just to handle the pencil. All right? Do we understand? Yes. Instructor, you tell them. You guide your artist. Okay? For the artist, if you're the artist role, don't look at the board because it's the instructor's role to tell you what's on the board. Does that make sense? I know you're facing the board, but if you're the artist, yeah, don't look at the board and spoil the fun. So, okay, we get the idea, right? And for every round, you switch around who is artist. All right, so it's up to you. You go from the far left or the far right, who's gonna be the first artist or whatever. Okay, so as long as you are switching roles, that's fine. Is that okay? Let's do a warm up. If you are drawing, have you decided among yourself who's drawing? Okay, whoever is drawing, you should hold your okay, hold your pen or pencil. Okay, now again, artists, don't look at the board, or do your best not to look at the board. Okay, and instructor, go ahead and tell them to
draw a box with that has a handle.
you can use the word. You can just read it off too. It's up to you. However, as long as you're providing the information. Ezra and Dylan? Only two? Oh. Alright. We got it, or do we move on now? Okay. Your bucket has a handle, alright? Alright, okay, let's move to the next one. Switch the paper. Okay, switch roll. Okay, switch roll, don't look. Switch roll, don't look unless you are instructing. Alright.
Draw a turtle face.
Draw a turtle facing left side. Draw a turtle facing left side. No, facing. Facing left side. Facing left side. Yeah, draw a turtle facing left side.
Draw a ninja turtle facing.
So you're next.
Okay, judging by the warm up, we know the rules and we know how to do it, right? Okay, the mechanics. Okay. Now let's do on our lesson. First, oops, sorry. Don't look. Okay, artists, don't look. But yeah, this instructor, tell them to do this.
Ready? So on the upper left
Tell them
corner,
to draw this.
right equals 223.
And please do the sketch too.
And then below it, draw an arrow going right. Yeah.
Again, your paper should look like this.
You gotta draw the box with the arrow.
Yes. And the numbers.
Yeah, make the square big.
Yeah.
Oh, not that. Why? Right.
And then draw.
And then on the inside, write 116. Or draw it in the face. And then You see how it's centered in the middle? Draw another arrow, or no, on the right side of the cube,
Now, instructor,
where it is centered.
you should find
Draw
acceleration.
another arrow going right. Here you go.
Remember how to
And
find
then on top
acceleration?
of that arrow, draw an A.
A is
like a
equals to,
lowercase a.
let me guide you. Acceleration is equals to F divided by
Question mark, question mark, question mark. M. Oh no, right next to it. M slash S.
But
And then
when you're dividing for acceleration, looking for acceleration, which one is on top, F or M?
So square.
Yes, you gotta make sure that 223 is on top because that's F, and 116 is at the bottom. So you plug in 223 first because that's A is equals to F over M. Don't mix it up because that would be the different number. Whoops.
Can I look at the screen?
Okay. All right, everyone. The instructors, did you do 223 divide by 116? Why is it 223 divided by 116? That's because F is divided by M. F divided by M, mass. You should get this number. Do you know how to do the sig fig? I mean, you don't input everything here. We know that, right? You don't put everything. You stop somewhere. Where do you stop? First, second, third, fourth. How many figures do you stop? Okay. Now let's find out. How many figures are in here and here? So we only go up to the 3. 1.92. So you stop at 1.92 because that's the third one. Do you understand? So again, you only match up with the figure, with the sig figs. All right. Next, switch whoever is doing the what. Okay, this is a little bit more challenge for the instructor. Is for you also need to sketch, but I won't provide a visual guide this time. Okay, this time it's gonna be a word problem, but it should be it should be straightforward.
Okay.
Should I ask him to put A no, not the box, just the letter. The letter. About speeds up.
Sorry, it should look like this. He's gonna describe this one, but in words.
Speeds up. Wait, it should be the same formula.
Yeah,
Let me
he
guide
said
you.
it's the same.
Is it at 3.2 meter per second squared? That's the H. And then tell him that 4.0 kilograms, that's the mass. And then ask him to find the force.
Or no, we're trying to find force.
Okay. Tell him what's the acceleration, which is 3.2 meter per second squared. And then tell him the mass is 4.0 kilograms.
So after the F, I put
Up at 32 ms. Oh no, wait. Oh no, 32 ms, right?
We're done with it? Oh,
I think think that's good. And then also has a mass of
Okay, we'll take one more minute and then we'll go it here, right here. We'll do it together.
Force is
4.0 kilograms. And then so what's that again, Mr. Manabat?
This one?
Yeah.
Mass. 4.0 kilograms. That's the mass.
So mass is and then the 30.2, right? It's
3.2.
yeah. Do I calculate?
No.
Divided by
That was you. Hey, now that was you at this stage.
no, I don't like this.
Okay, okay, time's up whether finish or not. Let's well, ideally what you should have. Alright? So a box. Well, you can just put a box. Speeding up at 3.2. Just to say this is acceleration, speeding up at 3.2 meter per second squared. And it weighs 4.0 kilograms. It's pretty light. And we don't know what the force is, right? It's been pushed and it's moving, but it's been pushed. All right. So how do we find the amount of push to make it move 3.2?
multiply the acceleration and
Yes, that's yeah. You're looking for force, right? So force is equals to m times a, and you say it's multiply. That's correct. That's because it's a multiply of mass and acceleration. We know that it accelerated 3.2 and it weighs 4.0, so 4.0 times 3.2,
12.2.
12, just 12, right? Oh no, 3.2
3.2
times 4,
times 4. Oh,
12.8.
12.8. All that.
Okay, now, do you put 12.8 as your final answer?
No.
How many figures are in 12.8? There's 3 of them, right? But this one has 2. This one has 2, so it should only have 2. So you're only here. So it will become 13 because you need to round off.
Round up.
Yeah. You see how round off the 2, this number 2 here, it's next to an 8, which is large enough to make it an upgrade into a 13. So you should have 13 at the end. Okay, let's do another one. I think we're getting the hang a little bit, right? Okay, can you switch? And don't look if you are the one. Okay, this is your skills at listening and instructing.
We're actually drawing something out of that. Oh, yeah. What is gonna be 50%? First one, right?
Change it to
What's your name?
All right, now let's go ahead and check our answers. We were looking for what variable, f, m, or a? F. And to find f, what kind of steps do you do? Multiply, divide, multiply. Why? Because f says it's a multiplication of m and a. Is m and a given to you right at your face? Yeah, it's right here. How much does it weigh? 32 kilograms. That's heavier than a sack of rice. And it's moving at 1.8 meter per second squared, right? It's moving at 1.8. Multiply those two numbers, you get 57.6. I hope you got this. Is this right? Did I do it? 32, 1.8? Yeah. All right. So your calculator gives you three figures, but you're limited to two. So it will be this 7. Does it get 8? Does it turn into 8? Yes, because it's next to a 6. All right. So you should be reporting 58 force, 58 newtons. All right. Okay, go ahead and pass along.
I. The next one, I.
Hi, half a day. This is Mr. Manabat, and this is my post-class reflection for my day 33 and 34 lesson plan. So for context, the objective I thought was there was two objectives. The first objective is for students to learn how to round off significant figure. The second objective of that day is for a student to learn how to rearrange the second law of Newton and to solve for variables force, mass, and acceleration. So those two objectives, my first strategy before this lesson plan was to give them lecture followed by a workshop independent guided practice, and then give them a summative test. So it's a very basic, simple plan to achieve the objective. And at first, I thought that if I give them a quick lecture just to cover up some basics idea, and then give them a guided practice and slash independent practice in a workshop day where I hand them out some questions, a paper with the handout and calculators, and go around the classroom and check if the students are getting it. If they are not getting it, provide feedback. So I did it for like one day, and the next day I gave them a test. And surprisingly for me, they scored very low, and roughly on average, if there are 22 students, only about 3 to 5 students gets it right. And of course, that is not acceptable. And so I decided to revisit these two objectives again, but on a new strategy. The second strategy is this lesson plan. In this lesson plan on my new strategy, I approach a little bit different. So in this case, I added more diversity of planning. I started with a pretest just to see where my students are at, followed by a lecture, and then another test to see how much they improve after the lecture. And then I gave them guided independent practice, and then another test to see how much they improve after the guided and independent practice. And then I gave them an activity, which is a group activity comprising uh, groups of 3, where they play around. It's like a lot more playful rather than a dry workshop approach. And then I give them a test again. So the result goes as something along with the pretest. Some class could score about 56%, and then I gave them a lecture and it increased about like 63%. And after that uh, test, I gave them a guided and independent practice. Most went up about 72%, so it's getting a little bit better. And then after the activity, after that guided and independent practice, after giving I gave them another practice, which in a form of activity, learning activity, which was a group activity. And they scored about 85 to 88% as a class, which is more or less for most of my other class. And I saw this. I learned that the more you expose the students from different approach of learning, there is some gradual increase. It's not. I learned that there is no any jump increase from one strategy and there all of a sudden they get it. I realize that it takes a little bit of practice, but I believe that if I'm gonna give them practice, it should be giving them a little bit more different approach to learning. As I just realized that it gave me an insight. Of course, it's kind of obvious, but it just occurred to me that like each students, they are very individualistic. They have their own learning, so I guess it's for best approach is to have multiple approach. Eventually, most of them will get it. It will click. And just going over what I did on this activity, right? I added new activity, which is about groups of 3 students. One will become an artist, and the other 2 will become the instructor. And in this activity, I gave them a warm-up first. So I gave them an instruction on how to do the activity, and then I gave them warm-up practice. And the warm-up practice was just for students to know how the mechanic of the activity goes. But it went well. I think they got the students understood the rules of the activity, and so they were able to follow along with the instruction. And I am very happy to actually see them. They're actually having fun. And some of the activity were actually not lesson. It wasn't about lesson. It was more like sometimes some slides I showed them was for them to tell their peer to draw something, and then they were just having fun and they were a lot more engaged. And so I thought that maybe doing a little bit of fun activity and then switch it back to a lesson activity and then another fun activity, kind of, I noticed that there's more engagement. And since like creating more engagement, they start to pay attention on the actual lesson. And they start learning, and they start, of course, engaging is a must when it comes to learning. And yeah, in this activity, I noticed more engagement compared to what I did last approach, which was just a workshop where a hand I gave out a handout with questions in it, and that's about it. I went around and checked if they're doing it right, and it wasn't enough for them to get it. And so this activity was more fun, was more engaging, and yeah, I think the idea that making it more fun allows them to actually look at the question itself and figure it out, and they are working among each other. They learned how to communicate with each other more, and yeah, I'm very happy with this approach, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to do more something like this in the future. And that's my reflection.